Hey Stackers, Coach Joe here with Windfall Wednesday, where we review basic principles to help the everyday person improve their finances. If that sounds like something that you want to do, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any free videos, and let's dive right in there. We're going to talk about today the very first thing that you have to do in order to achieve your financial goals. Now, at the risk of sounding overly basic, the very first thing that someone has to do is set a goal in the first place. What I mean, you're doing target practice. You're going to shoot some arrows, but you have no target. What are you going to hit? Best case, nothing. Worst case, something you shouldn't hit. But your goal must be specific. So let's say I want to retire. Oh, great. How much money do you need? So knowing that is going to be good. Having a deadline. I want to be financially independent. Okay, by when? How long is it going to take you? And of course, having a starting point. How do I build up this nest egg or this financial freedom balance I'm going to need in order to live off of? We're going to talk about that. So let's just say we come up with an arbitrary amount. 7 figures, that's enough, right? So $1 million retirement account. Oh, well, how much per year, or better yet, per month, is that retirement balance going to provide you with? Now, quick pro tip here. Think about your finances in terms of your income by the month. See, most of us think of our annual pay or our salaries by the year, but think about your bills, cell phone, insurance policies, car payment. Do most of these things come yearly, or do most of them come monthly? If you're like me, most of them are per month. So if you think of your income per month, you'll be likely to line that up a little bit better. B, how long would that last? How long can you live off of that money before the money runs out? And where would you keep it? In your checking account, in an investment? What type of investment? Stock, bond, mutual fund, real estate. And we're going to go over a little bit of that. Now, I want to show you something really, really easy. Remember we talked about that monthly income? That's right. All you got to do to find out how much you need in terms of financial freedom balance is take your monthly income, and that's right, just multiply it by 300. And you're going to get the amount of money that you need to have said financial freedom. So our goal, let's say, in this scenario is to be financially free, and we're going to save up a certain amount that allows us to do that. Now let's take a look. Now we're going to break down this rule 300 just to give you some fact finding. If you were to hold the broad stock market, say the S&P 500, average 30-year return on that is about 7%, and annual inflation, average, keyword, average, is about 3%. I know finishing 2021 is 7%. It's ridiculous. And we're all feeling it right now in 2022 when we're making this video. But over time, tends to be about 3%. So the strategy is you live off of 4% and you leave the other 3% for your 7% behind to combat rising prices. So let's take it. The end of 2021, with the full year 2021, the median household income in the U.S. was just a little bit below $7,000. So we'll use $7,000 a month that we want to live off of, right? So what we do is we multiply that by 300 and ooh, wow, we get 2 million, 2.1 million really. And that's really what we need if we're going to live off of $7,000 a month. And we don't really want that to run out. Now, look, I'm going to stop right there. I know. Before you pull your hair out, like, how on earth am I going to get to $2.1 million? Relax. I'm going to show you. But before I do, if you're thinking of using this stuff to grow your stacks of cash, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any free videos. Also, if you're thinking of someone who can use this stuff that we're talking about, feel free to share this video with them. Now, as promised, I said I would show you, so I'm going to show you. This is what we do. Just first quick math to validate that. What would $2.1 million really do? According to that basic plan I gave you, there are more in-depth plans we could use, but just for the purposes of this video, proving it. So we multiply that balance by 4%. If you're using a basic calculator, it's 0.04, and we get 84,000. Now the trick is that's annual. Remember the tip. We got to think of these incomes as monthly. So you divide that by 12, and boom, there you go, $7,000. So now I know it sounds hard. $2.1 million, you're crazy. But let's say we save $800 a month, and we did it over a career, let's say 40 years, which is 480 months, and we got that 7% rate of return, which is a basically mindless buy and hodl the S&P for your whole career, and you probably average about that. And that gives us basically about $2.1 million. Now, listen, guys, I know that when you look at this stuff, it seems sometimes overwhelming. $800 a month? Okay, how am I going to get that? Everything's going up in price. 40 years? What if I don't want to wait 40 years? What if I'm already 60? All right, well, I'm going to give you some ideas for some more firepower. And we're going to go over many topics like this on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and hitting the bell, not missing anything. But what you can do is go for a higher rate of return. We talked about 7%. And personally, I learned how to be an individual investor, stock pick, use options and such. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you can get 7% in a month sometimes if you really know how to work it. You just can't get greedy though, or you'll go backwards. Another thing you could do, start up a side hustle. Even if you get something that kicks you an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a month, just on its own, that's going to greatly reduce the balance that you need in terms of having financial freedom and something that's going to give you a certain amount of thousand per month. So you won't need 2 million if you already have some $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month coming in off of a passive source. And lastly, but not least, pay off that debt. I talked to many people that have paid off their house mortgage, and I gotta tell you, it's like they can live off of working at a fast food restaurant and pay all their bills with whatever they make from that. Now, that sounds ridiculous, but the amount of money that you no longer actually need to come in, that's just luxury, that's just disposable income, when you have no more debt obligation, it's insanely low compared to what most of you are used to. Now, I'll tell you, this might have dropped a lot on you, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if this stuff is helping and if I'm being a little bit too basic, or maybe even if you would like me to discuss other things in the future. What would you like to hear about? Insurances, basics of budgeting, getting rates of return, investment? Let me know in the comments. And also, don't forget to share this video if you know other people who can use this stuff. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any more free content.